Hello, Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts here, and I'm popping on to share with you a quick, easy, simple, whatever you want to call it, pocket fold card, which is great for gift giving. So I know Christmas is coming up, that horrible word. And everyone's now starting to think about having to make Christmas cards and start on Christmas lists and things like that. So I thought I'd share this with you. It's quick and simple, and I hope it will inspire you to give it a go. So these are a couple that I have already made, and I'll just show you this one. I didn't share this one on Facebook the other day. So this is obviously Christmas because it says Happy Christmas. That's kind of a bit of a given, really, doesn't it? And then because I've decorated this one and finished it off with a ribbon. And then when you open it up, it looks like this inside. So you have two pockets. You have a pocket here and a pocket there. So this one's got a little note card in it. It says Happy Christmas from my home to yours. And then this, let's see. I did think it might be big enough for some rhinestones, but it probably isn't. But a flat gift, a little packet of rhinestones or something like that, they'll fit in there. Gift card, money, of course, everyone's favourite. And then, so yeah, then just close it up, and it fits in a normal size envelope. So that's what we're going to be making. I'm going to be making one similar to this one again. So this uses the Blackberry Beauty paper. And this is slightly different in that it has a belly band rather than just a ribbon tie. So you just slide that off, she says, like so. And then when you open it up, it's similar again. A little note card in, and then you have the pocket at the side. You don't have to do the note card. You could, if you wanted to, just simply stamp here either an image and or a sentiment. It's really up to you at the end of the day. I'm just showing you what I've made and giving you the instructions how to make the basic card. How you want to finish it off is obviously entirely up to you. You could even just glue that on there like that and have that just side as a focal point. So as I said, there's all sorts of things that you can do. So the paper that I'm using today, let's see if I can slide this back on, is, as I said, the Blackberry Beauty paper. Oh, lost a flower. I need to put that back on again. Obviously my tape was not that strong. Is the Blackberry Beauty paper, and it's the paper that's being featured in October's class. So I've picked out these two sheets. I can't quite figure out yet as to which one I'm going to use. And just so you know, the colours that it goes with are polished pink, not something I would have thought of, but yep, there's polished pink, Blackberry Bliss, rich raspberry, early espresso, cinnamon cider, white, and obviously gold. Now this is gold metallic vellum, which is also part of the Blackberry Beauty suite. So I don't think I'm going to be using that today, but obviously I am going to be using some cardstock and stuff. The card itself really is quite simple, and you just need a whole A4 sheet, or in the US, if you're in the US, then you need a whole letter size sheet, because obviously their cardstock is different size. So yeah, I'm going to start with the cinnamon cider. Get the trimmer. And what I'm going to do is I am going to score it into quarters. So with the shorter side at the top, I am going to score down, and I'm hoping you can see this, at 10 and well, yeah, with the trimmer you can score up or score down, it's up to you. I'm going to score down at 10.5. And then I'm going to turn it so that the long side is at the top, and I'm going to score it at 14.85 because that is exactly half of the 29.7. So that's like that. And then I'm going to fold and burnish those folds really well. So I'm going to fold it. And you really do want to make sure that all your corners and your edges are square and lined up. And you'll see why in a minute. I think I'm going to have to start standing up to do these things. At the moment I'm sitting down. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to open it up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off 2 triangles. So I'm going to cut from the centre score line that goes across. So from that right hand edge down to the centre score line at the bottom, and then from the left hand edge score line down to the centre. So effectively you've got a point, you're cutting a point. So I'm just going to line up the score lines with the gap that runs down the centre of the trimmer. So that, because that's where the blade's going to go. So I cut off that piece, and then I'm going to cut off this piece. So again, line it up so that it's centred on the gap. And cut that piece off as well. So this piece that you have left with the funny point at the end is effectively your base card. So as you see, when you fold it up, that's what's going to form the 2 pockets. Now there is going to be a raised edge, so if you want to, you can always turn it the other way and then just refold it so that you don't have the raised edge, or you can just burnish it with your bone folder or thumbnail, which is what I quite often do. I'm sure you've seen me in the past using my thumbnail, especially when I can't find my bone folder. So again, you want to burnish all these folds, and then you want to fold the card so that it does actually form a card. And I am going to stand up here so that I can make sure that that corner is with that corner, and then you're going to burnish again. There's a lot of burnishing of folds on this, but it's not that bad. So there you go. So that is your base card. So now we need to cut things to decorate it. So the first thing we need are 2 pieces of basic white. So I'm taking my basic white, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces that measure 14.4 by 10 centimetres. So I'm just going to 14.4 that way, and then 2 at 10 centimetres. Now these are going to go inside those pockets, and you can either put them in blank, or as I said before, I'll just show you. So you're going to fold that down, and you're going to glue one this side, and then you're going to glue the other that side. But if you want to stamp your sentiment or an image, you want to do that before you actually glue that in. Okay, so don't get ahead of yourself. I'm just going to leave that like that for the moment, because I'm just going to finish all the cutting, and then we can do some stamping and some gluing. So the $64 million question is, which piece do I want to use? And I do like this piece. So you know what, I'm going to use this one. Kind of busy, but I do like the other side as well. So I want to make sure when I'm cutting it that I have this the right way round. So you need 3 pieces that measure 14.4 by 10. So there's my 14.4. It's my first one. It's 10 centimetres. My second one, which is 10 centimetres. Now, so those 2 pieces are going to go on the inside, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. Now this piece, I think I'm actually going to turn it over and use that side for the front. I can use the other side, but you'll see why I want to go that way in a minute. And then you've got a real little slither from the 12 by 12 that's left, which obviously there's not really much you can do with that. So, and then what else do I need to do? Okay, so I'm going to decorate mine. So rather than stamping here, I'm going to make a note card. Now I've used cinnamon cider for this, and I just suddenly realised that I don't have any other cinnamon cider with me. Just 2 seconds. She runs over. Because I did have it ready, kind of, in that I'd got my scraps out, but I'd left it to one side. Right, so scraps. You don't need to use full card sheets for this. So my first layer, I'll go back to this card. You see there are 3 layers. So you need 1 layer that will match the cardstock that you've used for the base, but the other layer you can use whatever colour you like. So I'm going to use cinnamon cider for my base, and I've got all my measurements written down. There we go. So the first and largest size, you want to cut it at 8 centimetres by 12.9. Don't worry about writing all these measurements down. I have actually already typed up a little cutting instruction and quickly how to make it. I've typed up that up, so I will be putting that on my my blog, so you can download that and use it at will. So that's that piece. Then the next piece I want to cut is 7.5 by 12.4, and I think I'm going to use some Blackberry Bliss for that. So 7.5 by 12.4, like so. And then the last piece is going to be a piece of white, which needs to be 7, and I'm hoping that this is 7. Yep, 7 by 11.9. Like so. So I'm done with my trimmer, she says. Probably turns out that I'm not, but I'll just put that to one side. Actually, no, as soon as I put it down, I realised that I'm not done with my trimmer. But hey, so that's going to be my note card. So you see I've got my 3 layers, and I will eventually stick them all together, but I want to stamp a sentiment and an image on here first. So again, so I'm not going to do that and stick it together until I am ready. What I do need to do though is bring back these 2 pieces of double-sided paper. So the way I cut it means that the image is going right across. Hopefully you can see it's like a continuous piece right across. Now you'll notice that the point is at the top, so we're going to have to cut these 2 pieces, and the reason you need 2 pieces is that this piece here won't fit on here, so I'm going to show you. So I'm going to cut this piece on the right from the top left to the bottom right. So top left, bottom right. Now when you're cutting this, sometimes you don't want to start at the point, simply because your blade is more likely to scrunch it up. So if I show you, so this piece is going to go on here, like so. Now this piece is, no matter what you try and do, other than by turning it over, it will go on there. But then you've got a piece that's upside down. So keep this for another card. You can use that for another card. So this piece, because we've now cut that side, we want to cut this side. So we're going to go from the top right to the bottom left. I hope you can understand what I'm doing. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments, because I haven't a clue. Now that I'm back in the UK, we're back to the really rubbish internet, and I can't have too many things running, especially when my daughter's working from home. So those two pieces are going to get glued on here, like so. And as you can see, then the design carries right across. So I'm going to take those two pieces out for a moment, because I'm going to glue these two in. So I'm going to open it up, just turn it upside down, and it just fits quite nicely with a little border on, and there will be a border down the centre as well, but that is okay. That's how you want it. So I'm just going to use glue for this, simply because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. If you use tape, don't forget, once you've committed, you're committed, and it's very difficult to try and unstick something, whereas if you've got the glue, it's a lot easier. So we're just going to glue that piece on here, trying to get a border all the way around. I think that's it, like so. And then the other piece, it's going to go on the other side. So this paper is actually part of the class that I'm doing in October. It'll go up on my blog this week. So you'll get the paper, you'll get some of the vellum, you'll get some of the ribbon, all sorts of bits and pieces. So you get £50 worth of product, and the class costs £50. And because I'm closing the class bookings this month, you'll also get to choose a celebration item. So and the class will also be limited because of COVID, and I don't want too many people running around the house. So it will be a limited number. So as I said, if you want to stamp on here first, do so now before you glue it down. But I'm not, because I've got my note card. So I am just simply going to glue these two pieces inside. And again, there should be a little border around each edge. Not that you're going to see the inside bits, but because you've got the pockets. Right. So that one's going to go on that side. Managed to get a hair on here. Didn't think my hair was that long. Hey ho. There we go. So that's the inside of the pockets. So that's going to fold up like that. So to finish off the card, and let's just double check first that all the corners still meet, because obviously this is getting slightly thicker now that we keep adding things to it. So I'm going to burnish it again. Not as easy this time around. So to actually create the pockets and make them stay as a pocket, you're simply going to put either some tape or some glue either side of that score line. Don't go mad with it. Obviously, if you're using tape, it's not so bad because you can trim it at the edges here. If you are using glue, then you don't really want it squidging out. That will be would be a nice look. So you just want to go down the edge of the score line. You don't need to go over the score line. I'm obviously not very good at doing glue in a straight line, but hey. And then you're simply going to fold that up, making sure that that point meets the middle of that score line going up. So we'll leave that to dry for a second, like that. So I'm going to put that to one side. Now I've got my piece for the front, and all I have to do, all I still have to do, is I have the inside note card to do. So I'm going to use, so this is the Beauty of Tomorrow's stamp set. Let's see, I'm not sure I'm going to put a sentiment on, but what I am going to do is I'm going to stamp an image. I haven't got around to putting my stickers on this yet. I think I'm going to use this one here. I will put a sticker on it quickly. So when you get your stamp sets, certainly when they're the red rubber, obviously photopolymer, you're not going to have any backing image to put on because you can see through it, but the red rubber there is. So you want to turn this over so that on one side you'll see that there's like a split in the sticker. So you want to peel both bits off. Some people only peel one off at a time, but I prefer to do it in one go. And then you simply need to match up your stamp and just start at one end and then slowly drop it into place, like so. And then I kind of like to put it on my back of my hand just to take off some of the stickiness. And then you need a block. And let's see, so this is going to go here, I think. Yep. And I'm going to use, now you could use Memento and then colour with Stampin' blends, or you can just use coloured ink, which is what I'm going to do if I could find it. So I'm just going to use Early Espresso ink. The other technique you could use is you could use markers to just ink up different bits of the stamp so that different bits are different colours, and then stamp that way. Oops, just hitting the phone with my head. Hopefully that didn't. Right, okay, I think I might need something else on there as well. Got a bird. Let's do the bird as well. The birdie. Which is very sweet. I think it's a swallow, but I could be completely wrong. So if you've got any thoughts as to what it is, let me know. But I kind of, from the tail, I think swallow, but at the same time, it doesn't really look like one. It's a generic bird. We'll just call it generic bird. Doesn't need to have a name. Right, let's see, we put him here, I think, and I'm going to do him, her, whatever, the bird, in black Blackberry Bliss or red raspberry. I think polished pink might be a bit too much for this. So let's go with Blackberry Bliss. Let's see if I can get this. I'm going to put her like that, I think. There we go. I quite like the idea of filling this up a bit more with some ferns, but I'm not happy with my stamp because I managed to get a bit of ink on it. So if you want to do this, then just make sure that your stamp is clean. What's that? So I'll bring back that Blackberry early espresso, but I don't want it to be so dark. Whoa. Okay, so it happens to all of us. I will fix that in a minute. I'm not going to fix it now because I know what will happen. I'll end up with early espresso ink all over my fingers and then it'll go all over the project, which is not good. So I'm going to stamp off first because I want second generation, so that it's fainter. That's better. And then I'm going to do third generation, just to give it some depth. So that's going to get stuck on there, like so. Move all this out the way. Move that definitely out the way because I do not want to be dropping things onto that. To simply glue these together. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, I can put dimensionals underneath that, but I would strongly advise you not to, and similarly, I would strongly advise you not to put embellishments or raised embellishments on this. 2 reasons. When you close it and if it goes through the post, you will find that the embellishments will mark the inside of the card. So this is going to go in here, like so. So if you put embellishments on here and close the card, you will find that you'll get indents on here, which is not a nice look. So I would suggest you don't put any raised embellishments. Obviously, if you want to use Wink of Stella and things like that, then that is fine. But yeah, just be careful. So I need to close this up again, like so. So I've almost finished. So I've done my inside, and now I'm going to do my outside. So I have this piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down a bit, and I'm going to cut a bit of Blackberry Bliss, just to finish it off. So I want to cut a piece of Blackberry Bliss the same size as that is, and then I'm going to trim that down. So I'm going to trim this to be 10. Let's make sure that it's going to be 14.4. Yes, that's okay. Make sure I get it the right way round, otherwise I cut it for no reason at all, other than to have a piece of cardstock that I'll have to use for something else. And then this I'm going to now cut down to 9.5. So I'm taking off half a centimetre off the top and off the bottom. So instead of it being 14.4, it's now going to be 13.9. And instead of being 10, it's 9.5. So all my layers always go down half a centimetre when it comes to length and width. So I have this, that's going to go on the front. Now I'm going to tie this with some ribbon. If you want the ribbon to go right across and then have an embellishment on, that's fine. I quite like the idea of just having it tying at the side so I don't really see it. So you can do that one of 2 ways. You can just simply cut 2 pieces that you glue one here and one there, but then obviously you will see the ends. or you can just wrap it and then I bury it under a piece of paper. So I have, so this is the, it's an organdy ribbon. It's a white sparkle. I think that might be a bit too much. I have the Blackberry Bliss, which I do like. I also have a faux suede early espresso, which is quite cute. And I have the gold, she says. Yes, there it is. I also have the gold ribbon, which is very luxurious. So we've got all the gold going on the inside. So I think I'm going to go with the gold this time. So I'm going to open the card up, glue my piece of Blackberry Bliss on. Now the front is where you can completely go to town. You can put dimensionals on, you can put die cuts on, you can do whatever you want to decorate it. Like so. Oops, did I just move that? Okay. And then I want to cut a piece of ribbon that is enough to go around and tie in a bow on the side. Scissors. There we go. So it's going to go there. I'm just going to use some tear tape because that's by far the easiest thing to use to fix ribbon on. You don't want to be using glue, simply because the ribbon just absorbs the glue and then eventually it just decides it's had enough and it's going to fall off, which is not what you really want it to do. So tear tape is a good thing to use. Take that off. Fold the ribbon in half, make sure so that's then on the, so I don't know if you saw what I did. Simply found the centre of the ribbon and then I placed the centre on that crease. And I'm hoping that that's going straight, whoops. Well, that obviously was not going straight across because it's got a kink in it. It's not so good, is it? Like that. I'm not going to glue the other side down. And then this is just going to go on top, like so. Now this bit you can glue on, or you can leave it like that. Well, you know what, I did like the other side, but now that I've turned it over and had a look at it, I quite like that as well. Oh, what the heck. No. Oh, choices. It's the problem when you like both sides of a sheet of paper. Sometimes you don't necessarily like one side, so you kind of, okay, happy to use the other side. Right, no, I said I was going to use the other side, and I will. I haven't bothered putting anything across the middle. So that is going to sit on there like that. Like so. So I've got my thing in there, I've got that there. This should be equal. Should be. And then I can then do what I would like, whatever I like with the front. So that's my ribbon. Now the dies, I haven't shown you the dies that go with the stamp set. Contain this really large ferny piece. In fact, it's so large now that I look at it, it's too big for this. but there's no reason why you can't cut it in half and then glue it on, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go right across the middle. So I might end up losing pieces of it, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. So I've been brave. Cut across the middle. Those bits are not going to be seen, but it does mean that I can then put it on here without it going over the edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a piece that will go over. Let's see. Might just actually have to take that bit off as well. So you could put it that way, like that, and then I can put a sentiment or something going across the middle. So that is what I'm going to do, but I haven't figured that bit out yet. So I've got that. Bit unconventional, I know, but hey, it's a die cut, it's card. I can cut another one if I need to, if I decide that I've actually completely and utterly ruined it and don't like it. And then the other thing I have here is, there is, actually, you know what, I'm going to quickly show you that in the catalogue whilst I try and spot it in front of me. So this is the Blackberry Beauty suite, so obviously some cards and things in there that just to give you some ideas. This is the stamp set that I've just been using and the die. So this is the large die that I'm in. I just cut that piece of early espresso beforehand, the paper. And then there's this thing called a Blackberry Beauty ephemera pack, and it's pre-cut dies and bits and pieces like that. So I have a pack here. I have already used some of it. Some of it got used for the other card that I showed you. But there are other things like this piece here that I could put on, not necessarily, and chop off that label. There's all sorts of tags, things. There's owl and other bits and pieces. Oak leaves, small flowers. That's the bit I'm looking for, which I know I had. I think it's got stuck to the bottom there. But as I said, there's tags. There's all sorts of things you could put on here. And that's actually a bargain. It's like, what is it? It's £5.50 for 40 pre-cut pieces. And you get 2 each of 20 designs, including the gold foil. So I think that's a bargain. So do I want to put that on or not? Or maybe I'll just put that on. And then the stamp a sentiment to go over it. Actually quite like that bit going that way. So that's that. Need to find a sentiment in the stamp set. I think I'm just going to do I'm Here For You, which is really tiny. And it's that one here. But I think that will fit in there nicely. Probably should put the label on just to make sure that it's straight, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wing it. Oh yeah. Bring back that early espresso ink that I managed to separate. Move that out of the way, because as I said, I don't really want to. On here first. It's definitely wonky, but I'm not too bothered about that. There are ways and means. Actually, you know what? I've done that. It's wonky. So if you do that, then the other alternative is you simply stamp it again. Not worrying about the fact that it's wonky. Like that. And then you can punch it out, or you can cut it out. I'm just running for a punch. Let's see. I'll grab a punch. I'm not even sure if it's still current. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chip. I know this one is. That's the problem with me hoarding things. So I'm just going to use the tailored tag punch. Get that so that the words is going across straight. I think that's about it. Like that. And then bring back my trimmer again. And line those points up in the trimmer. Like so. And just cut off those angled bits. And then you've got a nice, in theory, straight piece if your trimmer's doing what it should be doing. I obviously didn't. Oh dear. These things happen, I know. Just bear with me 2 ticks. I'm going to bring it down here so I can see what I'm doing. That's better. So you simply then put it on here. I think I'm going to have to redo this again, but so I'm not going to spend any more time here trying to fix it in front of you, but I will. But then it'll look like that. So I think you get the gist. Oops, dearie me, really. I'm all fingers and thumbs here today. Like that. Okay, so my finished card will look like that once it's all been stuck together. So there you go. Those are 3 cards. So they're all basically the same design. And you can pick and choose how you want to put it together. You don't have to put the little note card in the side. You can just simply stamp on the inside. You can fix it with ribbon, or you can fix it with a belly band. Again, that's entirely up to you. So you can really personalise these as much or as little as you want. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Couple of quick reminders. Celebrations on, so there's still time to spend £45 and get a free item, or go mad and join the Acorns for £99. You get to choose £130 worth of product, and you get to choose a bundle from a selection of bundles. That's a real bargain, and then you come and have fun with us, which would be good. What else is there? So Celebration, the Paper Pumpkin Kit, Expressions in Colour, is available today. Oh, and there is also, starting today, one of the new Christmas kits available in the kit collection. I'll just quickly show you. I have to remember what page it's on. They gave us a little sneak peek in here. So they gave us 2 sneak peeks, and this is the one that's available today, from today. You just need to go online, so, So this is a cute one. There's 8 cards. You get a stamp set and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So yeah, that's available today. 2nd of October is World Card Making Day. I'm having an event. So we're doing in the morning, those of you who want to come, we're going to do the Expressions in Colour paper pumpkin kit. So you'll get to make your kit with everybody else. You'll also be given an inspiration sheet for some more cards and some the expressions of ink paper, which is absolutely gorgeous, which it goes with it. And then straight after that class, I've got my buy one get one free starting. Obviously those that come to class get first pick. Those of you who can make it in person in the afternoon get second dibs, and then it'll go online later in the day about 4:30 for a couple of days. So that'll be my buy one get one free as part of World Card Making Day. What else is there? Yep, the class for the Blackberry Beauty and the Beauty of Tomorrow, that will be going up in the next couple of days. Booking will close before the end of this month so that I've got time to get it all in, and obviously there will be a celebration set that you can choose as well. And I think that's about it, other than I'll see you next week, 10 o'clock at Home Grange with your kits. I will have a very limited number of kits with me if you haven't pre-ordered them. So you're kind of taking your chances there. So if you want kits for October, obviously you can order them now. And then for those of you who can't make it in person, next Wednesday morning over at the Grange Chocolate Cafe, then I will be going live in the afternoon and sharing with you the cards so that you can still craft along. So yeah, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.